So I'm going to move on to what really upset me during free agency. I'm not one of those people I'm going to stand here and I'm just going to complain about everything. I'm not a huge fan of Howie Roseman, but I'm not going to stand here and complain about everything. What I am going to say is I was very upset when one player was released from the team and brought back. And that is my favorite player on the Eagles right now because I think I'm not going to call a player who I've talked immediate trash to over the years my favorite player. Like, I'm not going to call Brandon Graham my favorite player. I talked so much trash about him when we drafted him. Kelsey, I'm not going to call him my favorite player because I've trash talked him too. Lane Johnson as well. I'm just not going to do that. So, and that player is Fletcher Cox. I think that Fletcher Cox is one of those guys who's just been a high motor defensive player on this team, and he's one of those guys who we drafted first overall in a draft, which was the 2012 NFL draft. We traded up to draft him. I think traded up a few picks to draft him. I'm not sure. Did we trade up? I don't know. I think we drafted him at number 13, but we got him. And through the time he's been an Eagle, he's been nothing but a success, right? We don't win a Super Bowl if not for Fletcher Cox, okay? And that, like, look, you come out and say like these guys don't like deserve the money that they earn because it's so inflated, but the fact of the matter is that when it's my personal feeling that if. And this was before we brought him back. But like when we were in this flux where we didn't know if we were going to have him after we released him, I was just like, dude, like this guy has done so much for this organization, right? This guy has been a loyal dude who's been like, yeah, like I'll let you restructure my contract. I'll let you backload my deal, backload all my money. Because I plan on being a Philadelphia Eagle for life. That's essentially what he said. Well, I don't know if that's what he said, but like by his actions, that's what he said. I will be a Philadelphia Eagle for life. You don't have to worry about that because I will be a team player. I'm going to be a good soldier. What do? We release him so that we don't have to take some of his money on, so that we have more cap space. But he gets less money. You get what I'm saying? Like, I understand that football is a business, but to me, that's extremely shady, right? That is not how you treat a guy who has done so much for an organization. It's not. Like, I would have rather us traded Fletcher Cox. You know what I'm saying? Because at least he would be able to get his money. I guess it might have been his fault for signing that sort of contract. But how do you do that? That's just a slap in the face to one of the best Philadelphia Eagles on this team, one of the best Eagles over the last decade. So, yes, I got extremely heated. Yes, I got extremely mad because this guy was my favorite player on the team. Okay? So, I was ticked off. I really was. I don't really go off on like members of like the Eagles management a lot, but I was upset. I was mad. And I remember talking to this with Philly Jim on that Power Hour where he just absolutely laid the wood against me in a debate. But I was mad. I was mad, bro. I was so sensitive because I didn't like the fact that he was being treated with such disrespect. And let me just say this. I was extremely happy when we brought him back. I said this. Look, I will finally refer to Howie Roseman as his name and not the guy who tries to GM or attempts to GM. We brought him back on a $14 million contract, taking away all of his 2023 money, but it is what it is. Fletcher Cox is my favorite player, and I even said this with Nick Foles a long time ago. You will not get me to say anything negative about those guys. You will not. Okay? Negativity about those guys just stays right out of my mouth. I do not keep up the same negative energy for those guys. So, yeah, I was extremely ticked off And I'll admit it, if we didn't bring him back, I would have gotten extremely angry. I would have gotten like Chip Kelly 2015 level angry.